we don't care. Life is life.
The insurgent had earlier threatened to disrupt the 2015 general elections in Gombe State.
The resolve by Nigerians in this area to come out and exercise their civic duty on the day of election, despite an earlier threat by insurgents, is a demonstration of their commitment of a united Nigeria, even when it involves paying the supreme sacrifice. From Duku local government in Gombe, Emmanuel Akila, NTA News.
It's time now to join our Lagos Network Center, where House of Representatives election results in Lagos was announced. Ademola Adeoye has this and other reports from that center. That Lagos Network Center is not yet ready. We move on now. The security situation in most parts of Akwa Ibom State during the 2015 presidential and National Assembly elections remained relatively calm, but for skirmishes in a few areas. Informer Aikoye reports that this was made possible by the Akwa Ibom State Police Command and other security agencies who were alive to their responsibilities. The report now. Well, again, that report is not yet ready, but we will move on to Lagos now to join Ademola, who has a report on the House of Representative election results and others from that center. Ademola, it's over to you now.
Yeah, thank you, Ifeanyi. Well, we are still expecting the result. We are yet to get the result. When we have the result, we shall let you have them. Now to other stories now. The hustle and bustle within Lagos have resumed after the elections. Tunde Saiki, who went out to sample Lagosians' opinions, report that many of them expressed satisfaction with the conduct of the elections. His report.
Most respondents agree that though relative success has been recorded in various sectors of the economy, more still needs to be done by the incoming government.
Light, especially, because if our light is working fine. Look at what the industries everything will be working. We have to get to the rural areas.
I expected him to focus more on education, because without education, there's no way that any country can move forward.
I want them to construct the road and improve on health facilities with education and provide textbooks for the students.
That's why I hold that supposed to pay them money every month to try. I want to make it.
Advised that economic diversification should be paramount on the agenda of the incoming administration.
Oil has been there, cocoa has been there. All of a sudden, oil just get up. One thing one day will rise up from this country. People will start buying it too.
The type of farming we need now is no more the one want to carry home to go and start. Let there be a mechanized farming. You see that many people, some people even leave more some job and enter farm, become full farmers.
What most respondents say is that they need good employment and food on their tables. An angry man. They believe that with food on their tables and good employment, this restiveness and all the social vices will become a thing of the past in Nigeria. In Lagos, Annie Daniels, NTA News.
That report was by Annie Daniels, sampling people's opinion on their expectations of the winner that will emerge from the elections. Now we move on to our next stories. Normal economic and business activities have resumed within the Lagos metropolis after the presidential and National Assembly elections. Correspondent Abdullahi Mohammed, who went around, reports that Lagosians are in high spirit to go back to work after performing their civic responsibilities.
After the non-movement observed for the elections, activities have returned to Marina, the central business in Lagos. The traffic is already building up within Lagos metropolis. Banks, shops, and various other petty trading activities have also picked up. So how did the holidays affect you in your business?
It affect my business. I didn't do anything.
People like us, we live on what we make every day. So if any day, any business, if our daily business is distorted, it will affect our pocket and our family, you know.
This will affect us now, because we businessman, so it must affect us.
From all walks of life were on the streets heading to their offices and business destinations to make appointments and business fails. The analysts say the closure of businesses and restrictions on movement has huge economic implications. Nigerians say it is worth the sacrifice this time around.
We need to go out and vote. It's not affecting any business. During that time, all the business must stop.
I'm going to send a for election the ones that do. And they do the election very good. No fight, peacefully, everything move well. And my own opinion, anybody where God saying go win. When we see go let this country do okay. That's no problem.
For many business owners, it's another opportunity to re-strategize the economy. In Lagos, Abdullah Mohammed, NTA News.
We now go back to our earlier story on the situation report in Lagos after the elections. The hustle and bustle within Lagos have resumed after the elections. Tunde Saiki, who went out to sample Lagosians' opinions, reports that many of them expressed satisfaction with the conduct of the elections. His report.
All offices, business centers, and the transport system were in full jail when NTA News visited some areas in the metropolis. At the CMS bus stop, the usual hustle and bustle were there. Some Lagosians who spoke to NTA News commended INEC and the electorate for their good conduct during the elections. They are, however, hopeful that the outcome of the result will be the wishes of the people.
Lagos is cool and calm. The business environment is going on, as you can see. Everything is going on as expected.
Lagos, everything, the election happens to be peaceful. Everything was peaceful. I didn't expect it.
My hope is the electorate will allow the people to vote. Let their vote count.
Unlike past, that there used to be violence, there wasn't any violence, so thank God for that. But as that gentleman has said, that let the number of the people that vote, let it count. We actually want that.
Some are still apprehensive. Therefore, they are reluctant to open their offices.
So now, we are just waiting for the guy to announce the result. Because for now, nobody can really say how the whole thing will turn out.
We are still waiting for the INEC to give us the result of the election.
It is expected that when all the results are released, full normalcy will resume in Lagos. In Lagos, Tunde Saiki, NTA News.
We now move on to other reports. Marketing executives in the country gathered in Lagos to witness the investiture of Ganiyu Koladoye as the new president and chairman governing council, National Institute of Marketing of Nigeria. Musa Toliat reports that the event featured the conferment of the Institute's fellowship on some distinguished members.
It was a roll call of who is who in marketing practice, both in the public and private sectors of the country. These marketing professionals came to pledge their loyalty and support for the newly decorated president of the National Institute of Marketing of Nigeria, Ganiyu Koladoye.
So be it, Almighty God.
The quality of service we provide to our members, I think we have to work hard on it to make sure it is well enhanced so that customers can be satisfied with the internal arrangement and structure of the institute.
With the investiture and oath of office over, it was time to recognize the immense contributions of some astute marketing executives who have made their marks in the practice. 15 members, including NTA's Executive Director of Marketing, Adenike Olufade, were conferred with fellowships of the Institute.
The fellows' responsibility is to support the Institute in ensuring that the values and virtues of which the Institute was set up, we can propagate them.
It's time to start to ensure that the practitioners really are excelling.
I and my colleagues will give it our best shot in terms of moving the Institute to the next level.
The National Institute of Marketing of Nigeria was established by Act No. 25 of the National Assembly in 2003 to regulate marketers and marketing practice in Nigeria. In Lagos, Musa Tolial, NTA News.
Well, that's our package from Lagos. It's back to you, Ifeanyi, for more on Nationwide. Good afternoon.
Thank you, Ademola. Now, before we went to our Lagos Center, we told you that the security situation in most parts of our Akwa Ibom state during the 2015 presidential and National Assembly elections remained relatively calm, but for skirmishes in a few areas Former Ikoyi reports that this was made possible by the Akwa Ibom State Police Command and other security agencies who were alive to their responsibilities. Here's the report.
The security team, led by the police command, having undergone a series of training and mentoring, were on ground to maintain peace and order before and during the elections. The exercise was relatively peaceful, but for the restiveness arising from the ineffectiveness of the card readers in some polling units. Speaking with NTA News at about 7:45 in the evening of the election day, the Akwa Ibom State Police Commissioner, Mr. Gabriel Achong, while commending the electorate for their positive electionary attitude, disclosed that 9 suspected thugs were arrested at Nsurubium the night before the election. The commissioner also said 8 others who were arrested during the election at Uyaron, Oron local government area, were found with 4 locally made guns, 23 live cartridges, and charms buried in a bag of gari. According to him, they are presently making useful statements.
There had not been any serious incident that will cause sleepless nights in Akwa Ibom, and I thank God for that.
The police public relations officer, Cordiela Nwawe, after touring the 3 senatorial districts, gave credit to men of the police force and the Akwa Ibom electorate for their peaceful conduct.
Very, very peaceful. I must commend Akwa Ibomites for a very peaceful, wonderful election.
Others speak on the security situation during the election.
I can assure you that the election has been credibly conducted. Materials arrived quite on time. Accreditation went on smoothly. And at 1 o'clock, for instance, in my unit, we have started voting.
About 9,000 police officers and 2,000 men from other security agencies were deployed to various areas to maintain peace and order. In Uyo, Ifoma Iwuji, NTA News.
More on the 2015 elections as we join our Makudi studios for situation report on collation of results and other stories. It's over to you.
Thanks, Ifeanyi. Welcome to Makudi. Collation of results from the presidential elections in Benue State is ongoing. Achikili Magaji reports that the exercise, which is taking place at the state headquarters of the Independent National Electoral Commission, is under the supervision of the state coalition officer, Professor Hayward Maguye.
As at the time of filing this report, results of 20 out of the 23 local government areas have been submitted at the INEC Secretariat by the various returning officers from the local government areas. From the reports, there were a few incidences of invalid votes, while the exercise was generally peaceful. Meanwhile, NTA caught up with some major actors in the present elections. They are Governor Gabriel Suswam and Senator Barnabas Gamade, both seeking the senatorial seat for Benin North East on different political platforms. Others are Senator George Akume, Senate Minority Leader, seeking re-election for Benin North West, as well as the governorship candidates for APC and PDP in the state. They called on their followers to maintain calm no matter the outcome of the elections.
We are all friends. Chief Gumade was our national chairman, and he's now my senator. And so we can't kill ourselves because of election. But we must insist that people must do the correct thing. The integrity of this gentleman as a former chairman of PDP and now Senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, a man of impeccable character and integrity, would not take law into his hand because I'm a lawmaker.
We are all citizens of Benue State. All we want is peace. We don't want destruction. We have suffered so much. The destruction has been so massive over the years because of militia attacks here and there. And we have resolved as brothers to work as a team to ensure that there is peace. Election cannot divide us. If we lose, we lose. We win, we win.
However, the state INEC Secretariat is heavily guarded by security personnel to maintain law and order. In Makudi, Achigili Magaji, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Nigerian police force says it has strengthened its security apparatus within the state to forestall any breakdown of law and order after elections. The Deputy Inspector General of Police in charge of Information and Technology, Mr. Adeola Adeleke Adeniji, who is currently covering the North Central Zone for the election, made this known on a tour of the state. Correspondent Tena Uma completes the story.
The Deputy Inspector General of Police, Mr. Adiola Adeniji, expressed worry over the burning down of INEC offices in Makurdi, Logo, and Okum local government areas. He noted that this has led to destruction of properties, adding that the police force is making efforts towards protecting government property and those involved in the electoral process. Mr. Adeniji appealed to politicians not to take laws into their hands, but rather report to the appropriate authorities if they have any complaints.
We are up to the task and we are going to perform credibly. We'll be going outside the country to perform special duties and we have been excelling. Why can we not do it here?
The Deputy Inspector General of Police further stressed that the command is poised towards eradicating political thugs, fomenting trouble after the elections.
Members of the public and politicians as well have been advised to desist from acts that are capable of causing disorder in the society after the presidential and national assembly elections. From the police headquarters in Makurdi, I am Tena Uma, NTA News.
Senate President David Mark has donated 2 electricity transformers to Adoka communities in Otupo local government area of Benue State. The installation of the transformers is to boost economic activities of 2 communities in Adoka who were without light for years. Correspondent Comfort Amodu reports that the Minister of Interior, Comrade Patrick Abamoro, commissioned the projects on behalf of the Senate President.
For quite some time, the benefiting communities of Apa Adoka and Adoka Haji have been without electricity, making both domestic and commercial activities difficult for them. It is to cushion the effect that the Senate President, David Mark, ensured the installation of a 500 kVA and a 300 kVA transformers in the communities to generate electricity. The Minister of Interior, Comrade Patrick Abumorua, performing the commissioning ceremony, said the project is an effort by Senator David Mark to put an end to the plight of the residents of the communities.
It is my hope that God has commissioned this light already. Amen. And that permanently this community will continue to see light and have light. Amen. To the glory of God.
Comrade Abumoru urged the benefiting communities to guard against vandalism for the benefits of the people. One of the community leaders, Chief Ogbole Ochi, thanked Senator David Mark for alleviating the suffering of the people and promised to guard the project jealously. The Minister of Interior, Comrade Abamoru, also performed the foundation laying ceremony of the Comrade Abamoru Vocational Center at Okweje, Adoka. The Skill Acquisition Center, when completed, will train students in photography, tailoring, and information communication technology, ICT, among others. From Adoka, Benue State, Comfort Amodu, NTA News.
And many thanks, Lydia, there from Makurdi Network Center. Moving on now, French elections swing to the right, plus British Prime Minister David Cameron launches election campaign. These and more on Global Tidbits with Talato Ezirike.
Reports say that France's opposition conservative UMP party has made big gains in local elections at the expense of the ruling socialist. The UMP, led by former President Nicolas Sarkozy, boosts the number of council controls from 40 to 67 in the vote, while President Francois Hollande's socialists and other leftists won 34 councils, down from 61 previously. Still talking politics, UK's Prime Minister David Cameron says he has begun the task of turning the country around and wants to see the job through as the election campaign gets underway for the May 7th election. He had held a 10-minute audience with the Queen. Elsewhere, foreign ministers from 6 world powers met their Iranian counterpart in Switzerland amid hopes of a breakthrough on Iran nuclear deal after almost 18 months of negotiations. And officials in Chile said that more than 14 people were killed and many still missing after floods devastated the Atacama region in the north of the country last week. That is all on Global Tidbits. Talata Izarike, NTA News.
And in our sports package, sports pundits express worry over Super Eagles' form as Australia wins 5th cricket world title. Kene Imabudike has more on Sports Update.
The performance of the Super Eagles of Nigeria in the match friendlies against Uganda in Uyo and against South Africa in Nelspruit on Sunday have come under scrutiny. Fans, pundits and ex-internationals have expressed worry over the inability of the team to keep a clean sheet. In Nelspruit, the Eagles conceded a late goal after Ahmed Musa had given the team the lead in the 85th minute.
We need to really develop our game because over the last 10 years we have really experienced what I call nosedive in our football.
In the meantime, the Nigerian Football Federation has instructed the football associations of the 36 states and the FCC to comply with a directive to stage their State Federation Cup final matches this weekend. Already, the playoff round of this year's Federation Cup competitions has been fixed for April 18 and 19, while the draw for the national finals will hold in Abuja on April 30. The grand finale of this year's competitions will take place on August 16. Australia's triumphant cricket team on Monday paraded the Cricket World Cup trophy to hundreds of fans at a public reception after the night